team. Today we're going to talk about Disney and Slack. What is going on with Disney and Slack? First, let's define some terms. By Disney, I mean the global corporation, Mickey Mouse and everything. And by Slack, we're talking about the instant messenger collaboration platform. Slack, like Teams or other things you might be familiar with, is a way in which you can communicate one-on-one in instant messenger style with the person you want to communicate with, and you can also make groups and channels, which means you can set up a channel, a group of people to discuss a project, a business topic, really anything a group of people might want to talk about in a business context. And finally, in Slack, as with some others, you can add people external to your company to the group or channel. So you can invite a vendor or another person to join a particular channel. So what happened? This week, it was in the news, Disney and Slack were in the news because Disney's Slack instance got hacked. And someone got access to the channel, to the platform, the Disney instance of Slack, and exfiltrated a bunch of data, perhaps terabytes worth of data. And we're not really sure what this data included, but you could imagine what it would include. I mean, what do you communicate when you're on email or instant messenger or even the phone with your business partners about? Financials, HR, future initiatives, all of this is very sensitive data. So Disney reacted by saying they were going to transition away from Slack. So that's the story from this week. But here's the interesting question. What's the alternative? All communication platforms that are in common use today in business have the same fundamental flaw that Slack does. And what is that? It relies on a hub and spoke architecture. So Slack is a central platform. You may feel like you're talking one-on-one with someone, just like you do over Zoom. You may feel like you're talking one-on-one, but you're not. You're communicating through a central server, which means a central target that can get attacked by hackers. So Disney's transitioning away from Slack, great. I'm not sure what is going to be better or a suitable alternative that is going to close that gap. But here's the interesting thing to consider moving forward. Look out for conversations that talk about decentralization and cryptography. Cybersecurity hacks like the Slack one we were just talking about are so common that these two topics, decentralization and cryptography, are going to bump themselves up in the headline. So what is decentralization? It's pretty easy. You could just remember back to Napster. It's a peer-to-peer communication that doesn't involve a central server. So that's what decentralization is. It takes away the vulnerability of the central server. But peer-to-peer has its own vulnerabilities, one of which being that it tends to be an open communication that's not protected. And that's where advanced cryptography comes into the picture. So in the headlines, in the tech news, look out for conversations and articles and learning opportunities that talk about decentralization and cryptography combined.